Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely great, and we're gonna continue with the next part of the story I started 3 days ago, A Ruler of Man. So let's do this. Take note, says O'Connor to me, and thus we walked, as thus we walk, of the mass of the people. Observe their oppressed and melancholy air. Can ye not see that they are ripe for revolt, for revolt, are ripe for revolt? Do you not perceive that they are disaffected? Yeah, disaffected. I do not, says I, nor disinfected either. I'm beginning to understand these people. When they look unhappy, they are enjoying themselves. When they feel unhappy, they go to sleep. They are not the kind of people to take an interest in revolutions. They'll, they'll flock to our standard, says O'Connor. 3,000 men in this town alone will spring to arms when the signal is given. I'm assured of that, but everything is in secret. There is no chance for us to fail. On Hooligan Alley, as I prefer to call the street our headquarters was on, there was a row of flat dough houses with red tile roofs, some shacks, some straw shacks full of Indians and dogs, and one two-story wooden house with balconies a little farther down. That was where General Tumbalo, the commandant and commander of the military forces, lived. Right across the street was a private residence built like a combination bake oven and folding bed. One day, O'Connor and me were passing it single file. On the flank they called a sidewalk. When out of the window flies a big red rose. O'Connor, who's ahead, picks it up, presses it to his fifth rib, and bows to the ground. By carambos, that man certainly had the Irish drama chancyized. Chancyized. No idea what is this chancyized. I looked around, expecting to see the little boy and girl in white sateen ready to jump on his shoulder while he jolted their spinal columns and ribs together for a breakdown and sang, "Sleep, little one, sleep." As I passed past the window, I glanced inside and caught a glimpse of a white dress and a pair of big flashing black eyes and gleaming teeth under a dark lace mantilla. When we when we got back to our house, O'Connor began to walk up and down the floor and twist his mustache. Did you see her eyes, Bowers? He asked me. I did, said I, and I can't see more than that. It's all coming out according to the storybooks. I know there was something missing. It was the love interest. What is that comes in chapter 7 to chapter 7 to cheer the gallant Irish adventurer? Why, love, of course. Love that makes the head go around. And at last, we have the eyes of midnight who midnight hue, and the rose flung from the barred window. Now, what comes next? The underground passage, the intercepted letter, the traitor in camp, the hero thrown into dungeon, the mysterious message from the senorita, then the outburst, the fighting on the plaza, the... Don't be a fool, says O'Connor, interrupting, but that's the only woman in the world for me, Bowers. The O'Connors are as quick to laugh as they are to fight. I shall wear that rose over me heart when I lead me man into action. For a good battle, to be fought, there must be some woman to give it power. Every time. Every time, I agreed. If you want to have a good, lively scrap, there's only one thing bothering me. In the novels, the light-haired friend of the hero always gets killed. Think them all over that you've read, and you'll see that I'm right. I think I will step down to Borica Espanola and lay in a bottle of walnut, stained before war as declared. How will I find out her name, says O'Connor, laying his chin in his hand. Why don't you go across the street and ask her, says I. Will you never regard anything in life seriously, says O'Connor, looking down at me like a schoolmaster. Maybe she meant the rose for me, I said, whistling the Spanish fandango. For the first time since I'd known, O'Connor had laughed. He got up and roared and clapped his knees and leaned against the wall till the tiles on the roof clattered to the noise of his lungs. He went into the black room and looked at himself. In the glass and began to laugh all over from the beginning again. Then he looked at me and repeated himself. That's why I asked you if you thought an Irishman had any humor. He'd been doing farce comedy from the day I saw him without knowing it. And the first time he had an idea advanced to him with any intelligence, he acted in it like 2/12 of the sextet in a Floradora Road company. The next afternoon he comes with a triumphant smile and began to pull something like ticker tape out of his pocket. Ticker tape. Great, says I. This is something like home. How is amalgamated copper today? I've got her name, says O'Connor. And he reads off something like Donna Isabel Antonia Inez Lolita Carreras u Bencaminos u Monteleon. She lives with her mother, explains O'Connor. Her father was killed in the last revolution. She is sure to be in sympathy with our cause. And sure enough, the next day she flung a little bunch of roses clear across the street into our door. O'Connor dived for it and found a piece of paper curled around a stem with a line in Spanish on it. He dragged the interpreter out, interpret, interpreter out of his corner and got him busy. The interpreter scratched his head and gave us a translation. 3 best bets. Fortune had got a face like the man fighting. Fortune looks like a brave man, and fortune favors the brave. We put our money on the last one. Fortune favors the brave. Do you see, says O'Connor, she intends to encourage me, Sword, to save her country. Alright, guys. The story goes on, and we will probably have 1, 2, 3, 4 more parts. And thank you for joining me today, and see you tomorrow on the next part. Bye.